What is up, everybody? Skratch coming up with another Raid Shadow Legends video. We are currently on the test server. A lot of you wanted to see a team that's non-unkillable without Geomancer for the Iron Twins Fortress, okay? We've done free-to-play teams, budget teams, let me put it like that, with Geomancer, only epic champions. Yes, you can do it, not a problem, but you need that Geomancer. We've done unkillable teams with no Geomancer. You need kind of like passive damage in order to be able to do it. They are different unkillable teams that are working slightly different. I might do a guide in the near future on some of them. Basically, if you want to have the decrease speed on the boss for your unkillable team to work, enemy max HP is kind of like gonna ruin your mojo. You need to have passive damage, so we've done that with poisons. Check out yesterday's video. Today, we're actually going to attempt something else. How I mentioned, we've done budget teams, only epics, no legendaries. Today, that's going to be different. This is the newest content added to the game, the most end-game content. So it's pretty normal to be the hardest content to beat in the game. So stage 15, today we're actually using legendary champions to do it. No Geomancer, no unkillable. We're gonna use enemy max HP, we're gonna use poisons. So we have a pretty fun team. Let me quickly show you what I'm talking about. Forget about Duchess. We're actually going to use this team. But I'm going to use Duchess as well instead of Godseeker and Eerie, just to show you the difference. How much easier it is to keep your team alive. Basically, this is the team that we're going to run. We have Lord Comfort. That's how I'm calling him. We've been calling him like this for a very, very long time. We have Godseeker and Eerie. We have Septimus, which can be replaced. I'm going to talk about that in a second. Battle Khazar. And we have Vergis. I feel like Vergis, Lord Chamfort are pretty important. Battle Khazar is pretty important too because of the heal, the cleanse, and the poisons, okay? That's very important to keep in mind. Now, Septimus can be replaced by an Acrisia or by a Cold Heart. You don't need to have accuracy on Cold Heart, so you can build her for survivability. They have very similar equal stats. Both of them will be able to hit the enemy max HP cap on this boss on Savage without a problem. Lord Chamfort has an insane aura, increases ally HP in dungeons by 50%. So that's very powerful. One thing to keep in mind, this team actually might work better on any other affinity but Force. The reason for it is because of Chamfort getting weak hits and not landing the attack down, which it will play a pretty important role. So let's just say you want to run this team on a Spirit Affinity, Void Affinity is gonna work perfect. On Magic, you're gonna have issues with Septimus in there, so you might want to bring in a Cold Heart instead, and that will make the team run just perfectly. So if we're gonna have a quick look at the preset before we're actually starting the run, we haven't selected anything on any of the champions. Everybody's gonna use every single skill. We do not have resistance. I actually forgot to mention that at the beginning. None of the champions are on resistance. I think I explained to you before why resistance is pretty useless in the way the boss works at the moment. It's bugged. It continuously extends the Iron Brand regardless. You're not gonna be able to resist that anymore. Plarium acknowledged this. They are working on fixing it, but it might take them a while. So this is the team, let's jump straight into it. Now, one thing that I still want to try, guys, is to replace Vergis with the champion from the Doom Tower, with Euros Soul Cage. He is actually freaking powerful for this. We have Strengthen, Ally Protection, Poisons. He's a very tanky champion. I feel like he could be an awesome carry. Maybe even instead of Battle Khazar and use a different cleanser instead of Vergis or something like that. We can combo it out. Now, the test server is going to close today, actually at 3 p.m. UTC, so I won't be able to do another video here. Most probably, I'm gonna try that on my account. Just keep in mind, Euros the Soul Cage is definitely gonna be a very solid champion for this one. Now, no matter how I'm thinking about it, I don't think we're actually gonna be able to solo this boss in any other way, because the Iron Brand will just obliterate our champions. So you see, Septimus can actually hit the enemy max HP cap on the boss, 490k, without defense down. He is built pretty tanky actually, instead of having attack and this sort of stats. I'm gonna show you the build towards the end. Gotsi Karaniri with her passive, she's actually super, super powerful. Battle Khazar is on Relentless. The more he cleanses, the more poisons he drops on the boss, the better. The main thing that you wanna get on these champions for the boss, have the right accuracy, 500 accuracy, then have survivability and speed, okay? That's very, very important. His passive is a massive pain. Now, here, everything will work much, much better if Comfort won't be actually weak affinity and he will be able to land a decreased attack every time without getting weak hits. Him getting weak hits is actually a bit of a problem on force affinity, but it's still good enough to make it work. Luckily, he dropped the attack down, so it's not necessarily a problem. The main thing with him is the passive on him, okay? So whenever the boss gets to use his own passive, he's gonna attack us, instantly getting that decreased speed from Chamfert's passive on himself. It's only the small version of decreased speed, so of course it won't be as efficient as the normal decreased speed, the higher version, but it's still pretty good. Better than not having any, actually. You see, 2 minutes and 20 seconds, and we managed to get it done. No Geomancer, no Unkillable, no resistance. Now, if you guys enjoy the content, click on that subscribe. That would actually be greatly, greatly appreciated. It helps the channel a lot. Chamfort with 500,000 damage, Vergis with 300k, Septimus with 3.2, and Battle Khazar with 760k. Now, let's see if we're bringing in Duchess instead of Gotsi Karaniri. How much better is this team going to work? So here we go. We have Duchess instead of Gotsi Karaniri. The more OP champions you're using, the easier this boss actually becomes. So when we actually tried to do it only with epic champions was a bit harder. If we were trying to do it without Geomancer, the main problem was that none of the epic champions actually had enough utility all around to cover for legendary champions, to bring in decreased speed, decreased attack from passives and stuff like this to ensure that we're not getting hammered by the boss once we're dropping under 50% HP and the enemy max HP is doing so much damage to constantly activate the passive. So it was really, really hard to do it only with epic champions. That's why I said you kind of really need to have a Geomancer in there if you want to make it work better than with any other champion, you know. Duchess in here instead of Gotsi Karaniri, she's not going to have a crazy passive that's gonna just put insta revive on our champions, but she is going to revive. We have the perfect veil, which has a massive damage reduction. Just Duchess on her own has tons of damage reduction from this boss because all his skills are AoE. Duchess has that amazing passive where she has actually reduced damage against AoE champions, so that helps her a lot. This is my Hydra Duchess. She is on a regeneration set. Most of the time she's going to be on full HP. You see, even if Chamfort is going to maybe get resisted on attack down, get a weak hit, because he's gonna get tons of weak hits against Force Affinity, he's still a very powerful champion, mainly because of that passive. You see, decreased speed is constantly on the boss, and that is actually very, very important. Having Battle Khazar to heal, to give us the poisons on the boss as well is pretty nice, because not only Septimus is gonna do more damage, which it shouldn't really affect his A2 because he's already able to hit the enemy max HP cap without a problem. Plus Lord Chamfort has the defense down on his skill. Vergis is such a massive carry. Honestly, him being Spirit Affinity and being strong affinity to Force actually allows him to stay alive even better, and having that ally protection on all our champions is massive to keep the team alive. Honestly, I really cannot recommend Vergis enough. He's so damn powerful. Probably you've seen in the very first team we've done for this dungeon with Gotsi Karaniri, Vogot, it worked amazing. Now, I tried doing a very similar thing. Instead of him, I used Vogot in this team, and my team was constantly failing, and I'm gonna tell you why. We have no defense up, we have no ally protection, nothing to mitigate the damage on the boss. So that was a massive problem. So I replaced Vogot with Vergis instead, and the team works so much better. There we go. Duchess again coming in with a revive. Duchess is constantly on full HP. Is not as fast as the previous team with Gotsi Karaniri, right? Because it's a bit over 1 minute. She is getting tons of weak hits from Force Affinity, which makes her even more powerful here. But the run is so much smoother. It feels like it's so secure, knowing that that Duchess is there to carry the team if needed. Now let me quickly show you the stats on all of the champions. So here we are, I'm gonna show you the stats on all of the champions. Now in this team we actually haven't used Unkillable, we haven't used Geomancer, we haven't used Resistance. We actually tried to use different strategies to be able to beat this dungeon boss. So we have Battle Khazar right here. He is on Relentless and a Perception set. Total stats on him, we have 71k HP, 4k defense, 276 speed, and we have 517 accuracy. You can definitely lower the speed a bit on him without a problem. 250, that's the boss's speed. This is a team for stage 15. Of course, it's gonna beat any other stage without a problem, but this is kind of like for the hardest thing in the game. If you are curious to see teams without legendary champions, feel free to check my dungeon playlist. You're gonna have tons of different videos on this boss. Now, Masteries, we have offense and support 3. I know in yesterday's video we actually avoided in having a War Master, but now everybody has War Master in this team just to bring the boss down faster. The main reason why Geomancer is so powerful is because it allows you to melt the boss super fast. So we want to make sure we get to deal rapid damage in order to kill the boss before the Iron Brand gets at a crazy level on our champions and the boss is gonna start destroying them. But these are the Masteries, tier 6 War Master. You see, we're making the most out of the support tree, having rapid response, having arcane celerity, lasting gifts, master hacks, cycle of magic. Everything is very, very important on Battle Khazar. You could use a Wither instead of Battle Khazar. She is pretty powerful as well, actually. So she's on the 10x today. You might want to try your luck during the 2x. She's an awesome champion. The next one that we had on the list, guys, is no one else but Lord Chamfort. He is pretty damn nice. So I have him built on a Perception, Accuracy, Immortal set. Total stats on him, 84k HP, 3.1k defense, 243 speed, 550 accuracy. We have a bit of an overkill on the accuracy there, but this will work on magic affinity as well. Masteries, we have very similar with Battle Khazar, except we don't have lasting gifts here. We have offense and we have support 3. You want to make the most out of your Masteries. Having Sniper, having Master Hacks, and this helps with all the debuffs, especially with the A1 as well with that defense down. Arcane Celerity, get more turn meter when the debuffs expire. Cycle of Magic to drop that attack down more often. Now, what exactly makes him so special is this passive and the crazy aura, 50% of the HP. At the start of each turn, so basically this is on a 1 turn cooldown, places a shield buff on this champion equal to 20% of their max HP for 2 turns, will place a 15% decreased speed debuff for 1 turn on whichever enemy attacks this champion. Very important, you want to have this champion at a very similar speed with the boss. So they need to kind of like be even on turns to make sure he's gonna take the turn before the boss, so he always has the shield up, always landing that decreased speed on the boss. Very important. This is on a 3 turn cooldown, decreased accuracy, decreased attack is very important. Unfortunately, on Force Affinity, he's getting some weak hits, and we have defense down on the A1. I showed you the Masteries on this champion. Let me quickly show you my Duchess that I used as well. So this is my Hydra Duchess. She does have resistance, but not enough to resist the boss there, by any means actually, because he has over 500 accuracy. 77k HP, 3.1k defense, 275 speed, 500 resistance, but is not enough for what we've just done right now. This is the Hydra one. Masteries, I have the defense and support 3. I don't even have War Master on her. I actually have extra resistance. But you've seen her being strong affinity as well, which is always very important to play her out, guys. Use strong affinity against the weaker one. That's gonna give you an advantage. You're gonna get a lot of weak hits. Your team is gonna stay alive more. Is gonna deal more damage. Is gonna have more crit rate. Everything plays so much better when you're doing that. Of course, you won't be able to do that against every single affinity when the boss rotates, but it's very important to use that as a strategy to your own advantage. So that's Duchess right there. I really want to try a Valkyrie shield as well to see how much she can actually keep us alive. I want to use a Lugan, the Steadfast. He is actually very solid too. But Septimus, so he is on a Savage and an Immortal set. You see, I went for survivability, 50k HP, 2.2k defense, 208 speed, full crit rate, and a ton of crit damage. This is a bit of an overkill in terms of stats for the damage. You can definitely reduce that crit damage by 50, and he's still gonna hit the cap. Try to focus on as much survivability as possible, and you can do the exact same thing on Coldheart. I'm gonna show you my Coldheart. Now, Septimus was pretty good here because he was strong affinity as well, so that gave him a bit of a benefit as well. Masteries, we have offense and support 3, and I have tier 6 War Master. The reason why I got support 3 is because of Cycle of Magic. That can come in play every now and then. Bang, do damage, kill the boss faster. The next champion that we have on the list, Godseeker Aniri. She is on regeneration, a resilience set, no resistance, total stats 72k HP, 4k defense, 227 speed. Now, one thing that I would love to do is to get her speed higher to around 250. Preferably for all the champions except Septimus. That would be kind of like my goal to do it, because that would make the run even better, even safer, you know. Masteries, we have defense support 3. Because I don't have so much speed on her, and she is my main reviver and stuff, I got timely intervention. Whenever the HP drops on our allies, she's gonna get Thermiter, allowing her to rotate much faster. The next champion that we actually had on the list today, it should be pretty much Vergis. He is on a Stalwart and Immortal. Important to take Stalwart on ally protection champions, because that's going to be a massive damage reduction for him. 75k HP, 3.7k defense, 243 speed, no resistance, no accuracy. So these are kind of like the main stats: speed, survivability. Masteries, we have offense and support 3. Again, you want to make the most out of the support 3, guys. Get stat fast, get the extra healing, Cycle of Magic, get the Spirit Haste to get more speed when your allies are dead, lasting gifts, and of course get a War Master to do some damage with this champion as well. Now I want to show you my Coldheart. She is built for survivability. If you don't have a Septimus, you can use a Coldheart. If you don't have a Coldheart, you can use an Armiger. Armiger needs to be on point with damage stats to get near the max HP cap. Anyway, his skill is on a 2-turn cooldown, which makes him easier. Okay, you can use the A2 more often, so you're almost compensating for the damage. But if you have a refresh accessory on a Coldheart or Septimus, you might get a bit of an advantage there, and Cycle of Magic Mastery. But my Coldheart has 44k HP. She's actually built with attack, this one. I actually forgot about that because I gave her a Phantom Touch. But I would drop the attack on her, so let's just say I have attack chest piece, I would give her an HP or a defense one. If I have attack boots or not instead of speed, I would probably give her defense or HP. Do that and it's gonna work much better. You're gonna get to keep her alive better. That was all for this video. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of the team? I definitely want to try quite a few combos with the champions that I've just told you. Euros, I want to try Lugan the Steadfast. Quite a few different combinations and see how that actually pays out. I want to use the enemy max HP a bit more than we've just done it. You know, Kyoku, I feel like she could be pretty powerful as well. But that was all for this video, guys. Much love. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Don't forget to smash that like, subscribe, and I'll catch you all soon in the next video. Peace.